Recording. 3, 2, 1. Yo!
We back at the U.
Sports Use here.
Sports
How y'all
Use
doing?
here. I got the phone to the right, the boob to the left, and the grip in the middle. Sports U. Uncensored. For you.
Yeah, you gotta hold it a little bit farther, Gifton.
What
it do, blowing everybody's ears out, brother.
Let's get into it, man. What we got for today?
Well, we got Aaron with us today. He was absent last time, but it's all good. He's here to
We got the Hefe back.
get that extra perspective, my man. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. It's nice weather out. How are you guys?
Living, man.
It is nice weather out, man. You got the lights on right now. It feels real good.
Yeah,
So
nice
let's start it off right here with some NBA.
Alrighty.
It's pretty much like not the only thing that's on, but it's what matters right now because it's getting so close to
Playoffs.
Playoffs, important things.
It's right there.
You get to project a lot of things that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So one thing that was happening today was the 76ers game. Well, Joel Embiid got injured.
Yeah.
Stuff. It was it's sad for the 76ers, especially because it was a one day after a Ben Simmons injury. But one thing about the injury that happened was that he was forced to leave.
That's tough.
It wasn't something that he could have returned, but they like forced him to leave. You know what I mean, rather than
like
him
a
like
precaution,
voluntarily.
kinda.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a forced to leave in a bad way. It was like we would need you for the playoffs.
Right.
Not right now.
Right.
So he was forced to leave, so that's good. This guy's been a force right now since the season has resumed. 30 points per game, 13.5 rebounds. So doing what a big man is supposed to be doing. Currently, their postseason position is 6th in the standings, which means that they would right now face Boston. So this team won 3 straight right before this. So this is kind of a kick in the balls, to put it lightly. So if it ended today, my question to you is, let's start it off with Aaron here. What are the chances? Let's get him back into it since he wasn't here last time.
Of course.
What are the chances of the 76ers making out the first round right now?
So as of right now, if like everything was done, I believe they would play the Celtics, right, in the 3-6 matchup, if I'm not mistaken. And as crazy as this might sound, because the Celtics have been honestly wiping the floor with the Sixers pretty much in the process era, because that's pretty much one of the biggest upcoming rivalries in the East, I would say.
Yep.
Because they're just always the same division and everything, you know what I mean? They're just always in each other's necks. Go ahead.
I feel like they had like more star potential. Like media were always like, oh, they have better stars, they have better stars. And so when Boston beat them, it's kind of like, whoa.
And literally, like, all 4 of their stars are pretty much, except for Joel Embiid, because he was drafted earlier, but, he was held out for his first X amount of years.
Yeah.
They're all in the same pretty much age range, you know what I mean? Like, 22 to 20. No one's older than 25, I don't want to say.
Yeah,
Ben
Tobias might be
Simmons
like
is
26, maybe.
Let's throw him out of there. Tobias he's a good player, but he's not a star like that. But I just think, especially now that Ben is basically, like, we can call a spade, you know what I mean? He's out for the bubble, basically.
Yeah.
But now that it's just
for Ben Simmons, so we were saying in the last one that they are expecting him to come back if there's a deep postseason run. So we were trying to see which one do you feel like is more. He bet on it being the finals. I bet on it being the Eastern Conference Finals. He'll be back.
Yeah,
so they have to make it
that.
for it to happen, but that's what they're expecting. So
I get that.
it's a deep playoff run. Sorry guys, we're outside, but no worries.
I would say
vibes.
So yeah, with the Sixers, I just think now that there's no Ben and everyone's roles are going to be defined. Like, they might throw Al Horford in that 4 role, in this new starting role. That's more than likely what they're going to do. I think that's what they did today. You'll see Alex Burke play a bigger role and all that. And now that it's just Joel and no Ben, there's no confusion on who's going to go where and who's going to do what. So, man, literally it's just going to be a 4-out, 1-in offense. And it's just like it reminds me of what Dwight did in those prime Orlando years, where it was literally, obviously they don't have as many shooters as that Magic team.
Yeah.
Because, that Magic team, they had some shooters.
That was a stacked team.
Yeah, they had some It was like
It was
that
Hedo
when they were
Turkoglu,
playing with that
Rash-
team, they were really good.
Was Rashad? I can't remember his last name.
Exactly.
They made a name for themselves with
Rashad
that
Lewis.
team.
Yes, Rashad Lewis.
Jameer Nelson.
Jameer Nelson.
Nelson's been one.
Um,
Hedo
I
Turkoglu
already
was
said
on
he
there.
took. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't they do a
That
trade for Gilbert Arenas one year too?
He was
Remember
there, but
that?
I don't remember what year, and I don't think he was like crazy good. I think he was like a bum,
I just remember him being
sadly.
there.
Yeah.
Though. But back
But
to your point.
yeah, it's gonna be that 4-out, 1-in offense, and Joel Embiid is a whole different animal than prime Dwight, offensively speaking.
Yeah.
Because Dwight defensively back then was crazy. Joel Embiid can have that impact, but he has to, especially now, he's gonna carry such an offensive workload that I don't think we're gonna see the best defensive Joel Embiid. But still, 80% of Joel Embiid's effort on defense is better than 90% of the league. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no.
And
He's
so-
definitely a difference maker.
And so think of like how, because waiting for that to go by. Joel Embiid kind of has almost like a Hakeem-esque post move game, and think of like a Hakeem-esque post move game playing in that Dwight Howard 4-out, 1-in Magic system, and bam, that's hopefully what
It's like a little bit more
that's what
modern.
I hope the Sixers are gonna do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's that little ankle injury, I think it was just a slight sprain. You said they just basically told him we're gonna keep you out just for
That's
precautionary
what I'm hoping.
reasons.
It didn't look too bad either.
No, it
when
didn't
you
look
watch the
crazy. He was
video.
walking on it. You know
Just
what I
like
mean?
it was kind of clipped, and he's just a big dude.
Yeah. So, I honestly think they could upset the Celtic team.
Ooh, wow! I didn't know you were gonna go that way.
It's crazy. Like, that's just my knee-jerk reaction, I think. You know what I mean? Maybe my hot take, I guess. I don't even know that's really a hot take, but I'm just going to go that way. I just think that, especially now that Ben is not there, and I kind of told you guys in the group chat we have off air, I think now that Ben is gone, the team's ceiling is definitely a lot lower because he's a generational talent, and he's one of the maybe top 10 defenders in the league probably.
Oh yeah.
Dude can literally
He's up
guard
there.
1 through 5 depending on the center. But I think their offensive floor is a lot higher because they're just going to add another shooter, and it's not going to be Ben and Joel just kind of getting in each other's way. So I think with that cohesion, and hopefully if Joel is healthy and stays, hopefully he's just not complacent and whatnot.
It's like
I think
more cohesion, huh?
yeah, exactly. Everyone's going to know their role. Everyone's going to know what to do. It's literally Joel Embiid is the only star. Like, everything's going to go through him. Tobias Harris, spread the floor. It's going to be Alex Burks spreading the floor. Shake Milton spreading the floor. I don't know about him being a ball handler because I think he's more of a two-guard, like a combo guard two-guard, rather than a point guard who you want running pick and rolls and stuff like that.
Shake is or
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
Shake's
okay,
like
okay,
a traditional
okay.
point guard.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
Shake's more of a two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's why it was perfect with Ben Simmons because Shake Milton's he's a guard, but he's pretty much just a shooter. So we're gonna see. That's a pretty interesting dynamic, but I think even with all this dysfunction, I think that Sixer team could probably get out of there in 7.
Ooh, beating Boston in 7.
I think so.
That's nice, man. How you feeling?
No home court, no road, no home
Well,
or
that
road
was like
advantage.
one of the 76ers' strong suits, so they like
They're
to win at home.
but
Yeah.
they were dog poo on the road. You know what I mean?
And I think that kind of correlates with the extra season, though. I mean, there's definitely injuries, so it's not just
yeah.
that they were on a neutral floor, but it kind of points to that part too. I feel like.
We'll see, but how do you feel about that, Gift? How do you feel about the Sixers' chance going into maybe a potential 3-6 matchup with the Boston Celtics?
I believe it's gonna go either 6 or 7, just because like you guys said, the past history that they've had, it's always been like tough, gritted games and everything like that. I do believe that without Ben Simmons, I expect the offense to flow a little bit more. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just say it. I honestly think this is going to be – I kind of agree with that. I think this is going to be a good thing for Philly.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying. It might be a
Yeah,
little
because
positive.
it's just
Well, okay,
been-
okay. I don't mind you guys saying a good thing, but I didn't think that. Do you think that they're gonna beat the Celtics though? Is that what you're saying though too?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
I
both of
didn't
you guys
expect
felt that way.
Yeah, nah, because it's like I love Ben Simmons to death, bro, but at times it's either like he's not going to shoot. He can tend to be a black hole sometimes, and it's just they play better literally without him. So if Joel Embiid is getting 30 without Ben Simmons on the floor,
But he's a big, like I said, he's one of the 10 best defenders in the league, maybe.
Yeah.
So So it has to be next man up. Like they have Matisse Thybulle. Shout out Matisse Thybulle. Check that man's YouTube channel. But he's gonna step up, and he's almost as locked down as Ben already.
Yep.
But no one's gonna guard that guy at
Nope.
all because he can't hit a shot to save his life. No offense or anything. But you know what I mean? Obviously, people don't really guard Ben from the three-point line, but it's Ben Simmons and he can do anything. And then Ben Simmons alone gets you 8 to 12 transition points just off being Ben Simmons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the Sixers are really gonna miss that. I think that they're gonna slow it down and be a post-up team, kick it out.
They gonna have to because
That's the only way. That's the only avenue I see of them winning.
And I think with
But
Go ahead.
you were mentioning how it's gonna flow more.
yeah.
Do you think it's gonna flow more even though they're playing half court?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it flow a
'Cause
little
Ben-
bit better when they're playing transitional offense?
With Ben Simmons, yes, but without
Exactly.
Ben Simmons, he messes up. Like, I don't want to say he messes up. He kind of does. Well, now he was shooting, I guess, but
Somewhat.
Brett Brown does not put Ben Simmons in the best opportunities and
Situations.
situations and areas to shine during the half court, so he becomes a negative kind of during the half court.
Yep.
Yeah.
But without him and knowing Lillard's going to be like their 4 best shooters with Joel Embiid in the middle, and everyone's going to know, like, this is what's up. We're even going to see probably some Tobias Harris pick and rolls with Joel Embiid, but more than likely, everything's going through him. Everyone's going to know what to do. Like, that guy's probably going to shoot 1, maybe 2 threes a game because he's going to be in the paint so much. Like, I'd love to see a heat map of where he's going to be because it's just going to be in his paint and in the other team's paint.
He didn't shoot any threes in the last game that I watched, which was the one that he got before he got injured, and he had all his points in the paint,
Yep.
and it was very efficient.
See?
So
What's your take on it?
So to go against you guys, I'm picking the Celtics. And the reason why I'm picking the Celtics is not only because of the history of them beating them, but it's the same thing. It's Brett Brown against Brad Stevens. And I, again, believe that Brad Stevens is a better coach. He's going to put the Celtics in a better position to win. Brett Brown is a weird coach. I feel like he doesn't necessarily use everybody to their best strengths. He's kind of just, hey, go in there and kind of go get it with
And
your
he's
talent.
Australian.
And it's just weird. He's Australian. It's just weird because, like, again, you have all this good talent. You gave Tobias Harris this contract, so he's supposedly supposed to have this good talent as well. You also have Al Horford, who's proven that he can be a very productive player and sometimes a really key player when he was in his Boston not too long ago. And then on the Hawks, like, he was a key player over there too. So he's always been like that. So at least you have that type of experience.
Yep.
You have all this type of talent. You're not able to meet expectations even. So now last year, I feel like that was like the potential cap hit. Like, they would have won, and it's a different story, but they didn't. The story is how it goes. So again, with what's going on, I feel like the loss of Ben Simmons is actually detrimental in the long run. Yeah, they can be better at times, but in a 7-game series, I think that Boston can overcome anything that they throw at them because they have good matchups all the way around, except for Joel, which is a big deal. Like, I understand that, but they have so many other pieces that it does overcome their team right now. So, yeah, I definitely am going to go with the Boston Celtics, mainly because of Brad Stevens, but also because I feel like the matchups are there too. And in a 7-game series, I don't believe that they can do it. Maybe if it was like just 1, 2 games, 3-game series, but a 7-game series, I see a fully loaded team beating an injured team.
I see that.
Okay.
But it's a good. I mean, it would be a pleasant surprise. Like how we were saying beforehand. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid kind of don't really go well together, and that's what's been kind of the new narrative.
Yeah.
But them doing their own thing, they both look a lot better without each other, basically.
I respect that. It's crazy, man.
But no, it's gonna be a good game to watch.
You have 2 generational talents like that, and you can't make it work.
Exactly.
They just need to get Brett Brown out of there. Like, I hope that's what they do before they trade one of those guys.
Yeah, you got to give it another year.
We got to see who they
another
bring
year.
in. Maybe that could be something in the future.
Definitely. They also, and then after Brett Brown, I think Elton Brand might have to come under a little question.
Ooh.
Because he went for it, gung-ho, and we were kind of talking about it. I said a sarcastic comment, and I was like, man, only if the Sixers had Robert Covington, Landry Shamet, and Dario Saric, because those are 3 pieces that that would fit
Yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
with their team. 3 good shooters that can all do a little bit off the dribble and that are a lot younger and
The team was
cheaper than
good,
the
man.
team they have now. But Elton Brand decided to blow it
Bossed
up
them
and
up outta
go
there.
gung ho. And then he honestly dropped the ball on a Jimmy B
Yeah.
situation. But that's a different topic for a different day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But a good segue to the next topic right here, because we're going to
Jimmy
go ahead
B.
and talk about Jimmy B
Jimmy
versus
Buckets. Shout out Jimmy
TJ
Buckets.
Warren. Okay, so we have Jimmy Butler, who has been out the past couple games here with a foot injury. He will play against the Pacers on Monday.
He better.
So that's going to be tomorrow. This is going to be the first
You
meeting
know
since
he's
their
playing.
January scuffle. This scuffle ended with TJ Warren getting ejected, and Jimmy, of course, seals it with a kiss. So how it started was basically there was a tug at the shoulder for Jimmy. TJ was tugging at his arm/shoulder. Then they started doing, the traditional restraints. Everybody's pulling everybody back. I'm going to hit you. No, I'm not. Talking a whole bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they continued to jaw. And a little bit of cursing. You got suck my...
Blank.
That was said?
Was it dick? Uncensored. And then you got
Uncensored.
Bleep 'em.
also, and I'll beat your ass. Uncensored.
Why you say it like that?
Because it's uncensored.
No, not uncensored. I'll
Oh,
beat your ass.
I'll beat your ass. Yeah, so that's what they were saying. Shout out to referee Leroy, who was in the middle of the scuffle. breaking it down.
Leroy
Jenkins. He
Jenkins.
beat me to it.
Leroy. Yeah, he had a big part in that. But then right after that, you had Jimmy Butler trying to take TJ Warren off the dribble, doing a little bit too much, and had a charging foul. After the charging foul was called, TJ Warren starts clapping at his head, and he gets a technical foul for that. There was a little more jawing between the two, Jimmy blowing kisses, and then TJ Warren flips off Jimmy. Jimmy's quote after the game, he's soft.
And TJ Warren had cornrows like always at this time.
Yeah, he already had
he's
cornrows at this
certified,
time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he
Ooh,
did all that
weird.
stuff. TJ Warren right now, since we're talking about him already,
Okay.
since the season resumed, is dropping 34.8 points, 60.5 from the field goal, or just a field, excuse me, and then 55.6% from three. Jimmy Butler, again, missed the last 3 games with a foot injury. I think that he went 1-2 during that span. He averaged 20.2 points and 6.6 rebounds, 6.1 assists for the season. Who do you think is going to outduel who? Gittin, we'll go ahead and start with you on that one, my man.
I think TJ Warren's gonna outdo him, Jimmy Butler, but I still got Miami winning the game.
I see.
So you think individually they'll score
Yeah,
more?
individually, TJ's gonna show his ass to Jimmy for sure.
Would it
but
be just
Miami's
about
gonna
points, or do you think you're going to take into account
Just points, right?
rebounds and
win. Close
assists?
points. Close
Just
points.
we'll just
Points.
do points. Okay.
Points. This is like a little personal beef between them, bro. This is gonna be points. This is gonna.
Do you think there's going to be another scuffle?
shit talking? Do I think there's gonna be another scuffle? Fucking yes, there's gonna be another scuffle. Let's go for it.
All right. You should we should see if there's betting on that. Go like
I
onto
I wouldn't
betting
be
and like,
surprised
go
if
get in
there
a
is.
scuffle one
I
time.
wouldn't be surprised if there isn't one though. But yeah, I this is a little personal. This is a little heated. Who posted it when they circled the date? Was it TJ Warren that posted it?
No, I think it was Jimmy.
Or was it Jimmy
Jimmy's talking
Butler?
a lot of shit out there.
Yeah, bro. This is gonna be a personal one. This is gonna come down to straight points and crossovers.
I think he even said it to you. He was like, "Oh, I have that game circled now."
Yeah.
How about you, Aaron? How do you feel about the game? Who do you think is gonna outdo who?
So
I got a motorcycle here, guys.
yeah,
Sorry
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
Just wait. And of course she's stopping right.
It popped.
He's,
This guy interrupting us with his weak
I
ass
feel like the
shit.
Heat. I'm gonna go get the Heat are gonna get the W, but I don't know what's going on with the Pacers, and I think it's still Nate McMillan over there.
Mhm.
TJ Warren's just their number one option. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, apparently,
Yeah,
like
that's weird.
shout out to him. He's running with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
TJ,
need to
Victor
shout out to
Oladipo's back
TJ.
too.
but
Slowly,
we don't
slowly,
care, man. It's
slowly.
TJ Warren time.
Yeah.
But TJ Warren's been nice. Even his last year in Phoenix, he averaged 20. He just didn't really
Mhm.
shoot threes, and now he's shooting threes.
Yep.
But he'll probably score. Like I said, he's probably the number one option, and they're just looking because he's probably like their only source of offense at this point. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I feel like he'll probably score more points just because that dude's going to get a lot of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be efficient with it, but I think he's going to get a lot of points up. And then I think Jimmy's going to outperform him, but it's going to be quiet because TJ Warren's going to have a lot more points. Jimmy Butler's going to hit clutch buckets. He's going to have more rebounds, more assists, more steals, more forced turnovers. He's probably even going to shoot better from the field. But TJ Warren might get him in points just because, like I'm saying, he's apparently the number one option now. You know what I mean? And Jimmy Butler, as he is like their number one option, him and Bam also split the roles of being like the main facilitators as well. So Jimmy Butler's game with Miami is not really to score points, it's to do everything else at a great level.
Yeah, no, I would if I'm gonna go back to the question, which is who is going to outduel who,
Really?
which I believe that's more of a full pack. Oh, you got something
Just
else?
really quickly,
Oh, my fault.
he should be one of our first player analysis. His role in Miami, him or Bam?
Oh yeah, no, because it was a
yeah.
huge difference.
Yes.
So you can see what type of difference that they make.
Now
just
Spo has a
because,
great facilitator.
Look at the seeding that they're at between last
Go
year
ahead
and
with
this
your
year.
point though.
So again, if I'm going by what this says, which is like who's gonna outduel who, I think about that more of it in a package, not just a points way. I think that Jimmy has more experience. I think he's an all-star. Yes, TJ Warren's been hot and he's been insane in the bubble, but I think there's two sides of the ball that you have to play as well. So as a package, I believe that Jimmy's gonna have a better game. I think that he will also come out on top. And man, that guy TJ Warren though, like I'm not trying to take anything away from him, and I'm also a homer with the Heat. I'm a big Heat fan, but TJ Warren is just putting up stuff like I never seen him do that kind of stuff before.
Never.
So it's really nice, and he's kind of doing things at will right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really astonishing. But I think that Jimmy Butler is gonna take it because I think he's gonna have some more effort. Maybe let's say everybody's kind of playing on the second gear right now because they're waiting for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe TJ Warren's just playing on the highest gear, and then now Jimmy, this is like you were saying, getting it's personal. Now Jimmy's playing on this highest gear too, so because it's personal, like they're gonna duel right now. So I got Jimmy right there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So let's take a little bit of break from basketball. We're gonna get right back to it actually, but crazy thing happened here in baseball today.
That being
there was the Astros and Athletics brawl.
Yeah.
Today the benches emptied and they cleared to basically help out what happened with Roman. I think his name is Roman Liriano. Yes, he took a hit by pitch for the second time in that single game.
Oof.
So second time he got hit, but it was the third time in the series that he got hit too. So there's more onto this game than just that one hit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was making his way towards first base, and as like he was making his way there, the hitting coach. Let me look up his name here. I think it was Alex Cintron or Kintron. Hope I say that right. The hitting coach and him are going at it from the Astros, and it's like, man, like you're a hitting coach, dude. Like what do you got to do with this? Maybe he wasn't part of the. Sorry guys about the motorcycles. Away here. But so this guy is a hitting coach. Like maybe he wasn't there from last year because all those guys pretty much got laid off.
Mm-hmm.
But he's fighting for these guys, man. It's ridiculous. But anyway, they start having this yelling match when he's at first base and he's yelling into the dugout. Basically, Loriano starts making his way over to the dugout, making his way running actually, and then somebody comes out of the dugout and tackles him down before he can make any kind of contact with the coach. So there's a really big brawl. Everybody was separating everybody, but it's crazy because there's so many different factors in this.
Yeah.
You got the one that's like, man, this is coronavirus, and they're not supposed to be doing that.
That's one.
You got the Joe Kelly
That's one.
suspension. This guy actually hit the guy on the back.
Strike two.
Like, and it's an Astros player. Like, don't you want to make an example out of this guy too?
Exactly.
They also had a brawl where they contacted each other. Like, how do you handle suspicions with like the managers and everything like that?
And you're out of here.
But guess what? I'm not really worried about that. What my question to you guys is let's make it more fun because it is a fucking Astros. How many more brawls do you think this season is going to happen? So they're currently at 2.
Let's do it over under.
We're about 15 games into the season, so
Okay.
we're a quarter of the way into
quarter.
the season.
Yep,
All right.
literally.
So that means that they're projected to have about 8 brawls at the end of the season.
Ooh.
Let's just set the standard at 8. Do you think it's going to be over or under? Is this type of behavior going to be like, are they going to punish
Regular.
them, or are they going to like, okay, let's
Are we
let's figure it
talking
out?
like benches clearing brawl, and that's what we
So,
count as a
when-
brawl? Or are we
when
talking
it-
any type of scuffle?
when it has the players coming off the benches,
Gotcha.
whenever it's benches clearing,
Okay.
because you know how baseball
Yeah.
fights are.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody out there.
I think it's gonna be over. I'm going over.
you're going over.
I'm gonna go over. I think it might maybe get to like 10,
Dude, I
cause I feel like they're already tired of it.
want to see if there's a bet on that too, like anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's gotta be maybe.
Because I know
It's
it's
a good
like
thing to
hit by
check up.
pitches, but I want one where it's like bench clearing,
Yeah. Then it's gonna be for no reason. It's gonna be for a bat.
So you
flip
think it's
or
gonna be
something.
over? How much do you think? Then?
I think maybe 10.
10 at
I'm
least.
gonna go 10. Man. What about you, G man?
Maybe if they real quick, maybe if they face the Dodgers, like I could see that kind of happening.
Oh,
again. Like
yeah.
if they're in like the same division or the
Yeah.
same league, even.
And
Uh-huh.
Joe Kelly just so happens to be freshly back from suspension,
Especially if it just so happens.
We doing it again.
Yeah.
Nah, but
and he's the starting pitcher for that day.
ooh.
Jeez. He's starting pitcher. He's,
Yep.
not, he's, a
He's gonna be
reliever,
there for
you're
an inning.
starting today.
Yep, he's gonna be there for an inning, and then Clayton Kershaw's gonna relieve him.
It's-
But
nah, dude, this new sorry, getting almost
Good.
done. This
Yeah,
guy
man.
Brusdar Gratterall throws like a 99 plus.
Yes.
wait, did you say
Sometimes
his,
it's
his name's
103.
Luzaric Adderall?
Come on.
Brusdar. I hope I say that right, but I think I'm saying it right.
Do you know where he's
Gratterall.
from?
Brusdar Gratterall.
I thought his last
Throws
name
like
was
102
Adderall.
sometimes.
He's a starter.
He's
Is
a
it-
starter. Well, he's a reliever now, but he's able to.
I
start.
get you.
Um,
Do you know where he's from? That's an interesting name.
Man, I don't want to make a guess
Assumption.
based off his last name. Like I
Yeah.
don't see him right, even though my last name is Rubio. But
How do you
no worries.
spell his name?
Gratterall? Gratterol. But Gifton, 8 is a number, over or under 8.
Under with 6.
And why do you believe 6?
Wow, he's from Venezuela.
Venezuela. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't expect
that's
that.
crazy.
Hey, if you watch highlights on Brusdar Adderall,
He's
shout
21.
out to Brusdar.
He
He's
was
throwing-
Really?
He was born August 26, 1998. Yeah, it's about to be that man's birthday.
That's crazy.
Nice. Real quick about this guy. Shout out to him first of all.
Yep.
Very very unathletic looking. He throws. He has a very very slow wind up. But man, does it pop out of his hand. So, it's a good guy to watch if like you just have any moments to look up some highlights on this guy because he can really throw the ball.
Yeah.
But 6 though.
Yeah. To answer the question, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, my guess would be is that the MLB would try and step in and try and prevent this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You think that the punishments will overcome it?
I think the punishments will overcome it and set an example.
All right. I believe that too. Like I think that they'll play a factor. My thing though is I'm betting the over because I want that shit to fucking happen. So
You guys are toxic.
continue to do the unwritten rules of baseball.
Uh-huh.
We are enjoying every second of it.
We are.
And also Jose Altuve is batting like 177
Mm-hmm.
and also had like 4 errors in
Mhm.
1 inning. So yeah, they're getting what they deserve here.
Right.
Even the baseball guys don't like him. Like, come on now.
Nah, I mean, you can't fuck over the baseball guys like that and think they're going to be cool.
Come on now. All right, let's get back to baseball. I mean,
Let's
to
do it.
basketball here.
Some hoops.
You know what? I think I had something else to say. Oh, the Indians guy who got sent home.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
he
yeah,
went
yeah,
out. I think in Chicago. So that was just to kind of follow up from what happened with the last podcast episode when we were mentioning people not being educated about it and not taking the right precautions and how much freedom they have.
And look,
Exactly.
prime
So-
example already.
Just the next day, and it's gonna continue to happen. I feel like every day, and also there's been snitching going around, man.
Oh,
There's no
yeah.
way that just people know about it unless they have like personal investigators following every team. But like
Imagine.
that'd be pretty crazy, and that's a lot of money.
It is.
But no, with that happening, like that's why I feel like it's not gonna happen. But like we just said earlier, it's already a quarter way through the season. That's
Right.
pretty crazy.
That's
pretty
crazy.
to think about.
Yeah.
It's only been 15 games. It's a quarter way through. So just shout out to the Indians for setting an example of a guy who was pitching very nice in their last start. I think he pitched like 6 innings, allowed 1 run,
Mhm.
and they won the games like 7-2. So this guy is not a scrub. They're not just make an example out of a scrub. They're actually doing it to people who can actually do something. I think his name is like Dan Plesac or something. Plesac, Yvonne Plesac. I have it right here. No, I don't. Nah, you can look it up though. It's with the Indians. So, just shout out to that as well because I want baseball to continue to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And like I said yesterday, there needs to be some type of structure implemented into this before this just gets out of hand.
Yes, sir. So, talked a little bit about baseball there. Not too much going on with it, but that was something to bring up. So let's get back into basketball here.
Can we give a quick shout out to the one and the only Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo Anthony is
Shout
the
out.
greatest small forward in New York Knicks history of all time.
Yeah, that's facts. He hit a bucket last night or the previous game early this morning because we're recording this later in the evening, and he actually passed. Dang, I just had it.
He's 15th now, right?
He's 15th now.
Yep.
I want to say he passed. I think John Hagelvik or something like that.
Let me look it up.
I thought
know,
it was
I just had it, dude.
Paul Pierce.
I don't think so.
Is it?
Yeah, he
No, I thought Paul
passed. I
Pierce was
think
third.
Paul Pierce on
Let me see.
15th overall. Points per game was.
One second. He pissed Paul Pierce and Havlicek.
Okay.
John Havlicek.
Havlicek.
Yeah, and Paul Pierce was at 16 and John Havlicek is 17, tied basically. Oh, not tied, yeah. And now so he is
Oh, he jumped two people.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
93 points away from Tim Duncan at 14th. And then he's like another 300 points away from Dominique Wilkins and the big O, Oscar Robinson.
Shout out Melo.
I think he'll probably play next year because he's shown he still has a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
Especially in Portland. I think they're going to re-sign him on a little small
they
deal, a little
better.
like 2-year maybe deal or something like that. But I
From his
think,
pull-up jumpers to his hand gestures, baby.
yeah, realistically, so he's at 26,403. I believe he can probably get up to, he can definitely break that top 10 because Moses Malone is 9th at 27,409. So that's another 1,000 points. I think he can probably score
Melo got
1,000
another
points.
1,000 in him.
Oh yeah.
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 So let's think about it. If let's say he drops 15 a game, 15 times 80. That's
He probably won't play 82. He'll probably play
800,
72
and then
games.
After that, so 40. Yeah, that's about 1,200 points.
Exactly.
In one
And
season if he
that's
averages
enough to get
15 a
into
game.
Yeah.
that's enough to get in the top 10. We're
That's
rooting for you
nice.
over here,
Man,
Melo.
We are
Melo
Melo.
Anthony in top 10. Like I
Yep.
understand he's a top 10 scorer, like,
Yep.
but I didn't know that he was already that far.
Yeah. Exactly. It's crazy, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out Melo, man. Shout out him proving all the doubters and haters wrong. Finding him a little role in Portland.
Exactly.
It's crazy because, dude, Gifton, we have been saying go
They
to
were
Portland
giving him so much
since
shit,
2014. I'm a Knick fan.
So
and
much shit.
We have been saying go to Portland since 2014.
Yep. Somebody.
Yes, man.
Could have probably made a bigger difference.
It
If
would
he
have
went
been
to
crazy.
2014, it'd been crazy.
It would have been. It would have been crazy if he also went to the Bulls as well.
Oh.
All right, so definitely shout out to Melo.
Yep. Shout out
Melo.
Melo. We're rooting for you.
Coach
Get that
G.
top 10.
3-point shot.
Everyone, can we get
Pull-up
a
jumper.
Can we get a 3 to the head? 3 to the
To
headband.
the head.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to a really cool matchup that's going to be happening soon. It's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Toronto Raptors. It's going to be taking place on August 10th, which I think is tomorrow. So we got the all-star duo of Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo going up against the well-oiled machine of the Toronto Raptors. Now, Aaron brought up this stat of the Raptors. They haven't beaten the Bucks this year, so they sit at 0-2 right now. The Raptors are 0-2 against the Bucks, and the Bucks are, of course, beat them 2-0. But the Bucks right now, especially in the bubble, they have had unexplainable losses. So the Bucks have been beating the Raptors, of course, but the Raptors, we all agreed, definitely need the mental edge going into the postseason here. So right now, the Bucks just lost to the Mavericks, and Mike Budenholzer was actually just saying that he expects better defense from the Raptors, especially when it comes to Giannis. So my question to you guys basically is, who takes the ego boost into the playoffs with this, what most likely will be the Eastern Conference Finals matchup? And
Man.
I think I started with Gittin last time. Let's go ahead and start with you.
Go ahead. You can swing it this way. Man, it's pretty crazy. So, that's tough. As a little preview, the Raps are 0-2 versus the Bucks. It's wild.
It
But
is.
I also think that the Raptors just match up the best, just because they know Milwaukee. They know a lot of their schemes. They know their weaknesses, and they know that they match up well. And they're like almost kind of how like the Clippers are built to beat like the Lakers, kind of. You know what I mean? Oh, never mind, not the Lakers, but the Clippers are built to beat a lot of teams that have that are very wing oriented.
Yeah.
The Raptors are almost built to go after Giannis in the Bucks style, because it's just a lot of long, really, really athletic defenders who can swipe and get their hands on Giannis, and then exactly they can switch everything, swipe everything, and recover out to the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And then Marc Gasol, at this point in his career, is not the all-star defensive player of the year that we know him to be as.
Yeah.
But that dude is still top 5 defensive centers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot take or an unpopular opinion, but I'll go out there and say it, because that dude has locked up with Joel Embiid. He just held Jonas Valanciunas to 0 points, I want to say today. And that man is he's gonna hold down the paint as soon as Giannis tries to do that driving kick, and then the Raptors wing defenders are gonna be able to close out on the 3-point line. And then Serge Ibaka as a backup 5, or even if he starts, that's quality minutes at the 5 right there.
Yep.
So the Raptors they're just built to take them down. You know what I mean? And then the Bucks, their last 4, they're 3-1. They lost to Houston, they lost to Brooklyn, then they beat Miami, which was a comeback, which was crazy, but they were down for big chunks of that game. And then they also lost to Dallas in the OT, where they just let Luka literally go nuts. Like, he put up like 2K my career stats.
Yeah,
like,
no, exactly.
what was it, 36, 19, and 14
And
or something like that?
36,
Pulling
14, and 19 assists.
And then
Insane.
he pulling off crazy, flashy moves.
Bro,
Yeah,
did you see that the nutmeg through his leg? Bro, yeah.
Oh, bro, and it was OT at that point, wasn't it?
Exactly.
It was OT at that. Like, bro, that's crazy.
He had like a minute 30
the
seconds.
confidence on that kid, man.
Exactly.
But with all that said, the Bucks just need to get in form. I'm gonna lean Raptors on this one. I think they're gonna take one. I don't think they want to go undefeated. I don't think they want to go winless against this team, because realistically, almost everyone knows this is probably more than likely gonna be the Eastern Conference Finals, pretty much rematch. And it's crazy that the Raptors got all the way back there, losing 2 key components in Danny Green and Kawhi. But I think the Raptors pull this one out, and they go into the playoffs on a high, knowing that, all right, we got these guys. Like when it came down to serious, almost playoff basketball, that we were there and we stood toe to toe with them.
Before we get to Gifton here, now we mentioned the ego boost and they take it. Do you think it's equivalent now? Like, we got our licks in, or do you think it's all right? We won last. We're a better team with the ego boost.
I think it's a laugh. It's like a last laugh, as you were alluding to earlier, off air, and also, it's also a statement, because it kind of just puts a cap on the Bucks form going into the playoffs throughout the bubble. Because like I said, they're 1-3 in their last 4, and dude, they lost to the Nets. Like, and no disrespect to the Nets, but they're fielding a bunch of like just random people that they picked up off the free agent market or G leaguers, like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're tough for that.
Yeah, and they went in there and they beat the Eastern. I mean, they beat the best team in basketball record wise. You know what I mean? So, I think if the Raptors pull out with the win, they'll be on a high, because they know that they showed out, and that they know that they just have that win in the back of their head. But also, it'll probably more than likely lead to a downward spiral, maybe in the locker room or something like that with the Bucks, because like I said, that just kind of caps off how bad their form has been in the bubble going into the playoffs, and that you don't want to do that.
Exactly. And then for you, Gifton, who you got?
Well, Aaron had said that it's what that win would do for him would just be like a last laugh. In my eyes, I kind of see it as a confidence booster.
Yeah, it's kind of basically the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, like we were saying yesterday, just I think Toronto is just locked in and ready to do it. I think they're just ready to do it again. Like I said, from everybody who needs to set an example, from Norman Powell to Terrence Davis. they're just gonna stay strong to
Okay.
what they know.
So they're gonna take this last game.
I believe they're gonna take it. It's gonna come down to the wire, but I have Toronto.
And do you think it's gonna be a higher ego boost than like they're gonna have more confidence in the Bucks, or do you think it's gonna be even going into the playoffs?
Oh, it's gonna be even.
It's about even.
It's gonna
So
be
they're gonna
about
pull
even.
even instead
Yeah.
of being under. Okay. Cool. Well, for myself, I haven't been liking the way that Giannis has been playing, and I have been liking the way that Fred VanVleet has been playing.
Man.
Two totally different people in terms of like what they can do for their team, but I just think that the way that the Raptors are synchronized with each other, that they'll be able to kind of show like, hey, like we know how to beat you. We beat you in the past. Like this is who we are right now. So they got their last chance to prove who they are. And actually, in my opinion, when they win, they will have a bigger ego boost and more confidence than the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's gonna go into the postseason, and we'll see how it goes. Like going off that, but no, I definitely think that the Raptors will show them what's good in this last game here.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I feel.
Shout out to
I
the
think
Nets.
that's all three of us, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Shout out to the Nets really quickly because as we just got the update right now, it was 5 minutes ago. The Nets beat the Clippers 129 to 120, so that's another W for the Nets, for the depleted Nets.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, does anybody know what the Wizards' record is right now?
No, I have.
Have
no
they not
idea.
won a game yet still?
Nah, I don't think they've won yet.
All right, so my prediction might still be on. 1 second.
Okay, then let's get into that real quick. I was wrong about the Pelicans. Lonzo did me so wrong. He was doing so well before he went into the bubble, and then there's all this talk about how it's a shooting fucking rec ball fucking center. Isn't he used to playing fucking
Johnson
AAU,
center
dude?
numbers?
It's ridiculous. So Alonzo kind of dropped the ball for me, if that's a pun. And then you got fucking Zion.
You are really frustrated, man.
During this fucking time right now, we just Aaron just pulled up a damn stat, and it was about Zion's performance during this whole time in the bubble.
What, negative
So
58?
you want to bring that up? Bring that in real quick?
Yeah.
Because that's some
Let me go
bullshit.
back to the article really quickly.
All my hype was real bad. So
All right. I just seen this on Reddit.
I'm wrong about that one.
He's frustrated.
Fucking Pelicans.
Oh, man.
I should have known that, like, betting on a team that's called the Pelicans, they would have fucking bit me in the ass.
Their arena is called the Smoothie King Arena or something like that, dude. It's wild. So it said Zion has a total plus-minus of negative 58 in 5 games so far. It's insane. So basically that's an average plus-minus of negative 11.6 per game. And he did this while averaging only 20 minutes per game.
Yeah,
20 minutes and 41 seconds to be exact. And then the Pelicans have a positive plus-minus when Zion is not on the court. A total of plus 19 in these 5 games. But when Zion is on the court, the team's plus-minus completely sinks, and Zion isn't really on the court much, only 20 minutes a game. That's wild. I just hope he really gets in shape.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And
You know what? He's a rookie still, man.
yeah,
Gotta give him that.
like he's only played 24 games now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Technically.
That was an extra 2 games,
I think
probably.
19 plus these 5. Yeah. So, and then shout out to Reddit user Antinakupo _GB_WR for that information right there.
It was basically all that was basically from him, except for our opinions, right?
Yeah. What I was saying, I was just reading this post because he has the stats and the numbers. It's also sourced from Basketball Reference. Shout out Basketball Reference.
Insane. So
Yeah.
that's I wanted him to read that just because I don't want it to be like everybody was expecting way more from this guy.
Exactly.
So they just fucking dropped the ball, man. But I did put my money on a guy who is a rookie, who is injury prone, and was not ready for the bubble. So that's my bad. But we still got Aaron's prediction, right? The Trailblazers 8th seed.
Yep.
I think you said Trailblazers 8th seed as
I
well.
had Memphis But
Oh yeah, Memphis.
I
Yeah,
had
my
the
fault.
Trailblazers beating Memphis.
Yeah.
I didn't have Memphis falling out like you guys did.
That might-
Like you did.
No, I had Memphis.
Yeah, you
falling
had
out.
Memphis falling
It
out.
It was going well.
Yeah,
was.
But the
slowly looks like
Pelicans,
it's
man,
going down the
Yeah,
shit.
They're the only ones.
It looks like it's gonna be Trailblazers versus the Suns.
Dude,
Yeah.
even if the Pelicans beat the Memphis Grizzlies in that one game, that would have helped out so much.
Yep.
But, dude, you can't fucking win that game. But
If the Suns make the playoffs, then
sorry
I
about
think
that, guys. Again, we're outside.
yeah.
Got that Gucci Mane in the background.
If the Suns beat if the Suns beat the Blazers and somehow make it into the playoffs, I think that proves the bubble is a success. Because
And
that's just
man,
wild. Because literally a 13th place team had 8 games, and they were like, you know what? You guys are in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's crazy. That shows anything can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
If the Suns aren't one of them,
What does Kevin Garnett say when he won the championship? Anything is
Anything's
possible.
possible.
Anything's possible. Exactly. Shout out KG.
all right. So let's go ahead before we get, because we're gonna start doing almost shout outs real quick, and that's
Yep.
what it almost seems like the mood for. We're gonna get into our last topic here that we kind of all came up with before this started here. So we're gonna go with what we call this topic is untrustworthy players. So basically, it's just players that have shrunk in the playoffs on teams that might have costed them getting into that next round. So, for example, Lou Williams, he has a history of being defensive liability, especially in last year's playoffs. In some of those games, as well as past years in the playoffs, he was an offensive liability. So that definitely means a lot when it's coming from your sixth man, usually. And then you have Paul George, who was putting up single digits in the playoffs, and he loses to a rookie-led Jazz team, led by Donovan Mitchell. So with that kind of thing, it's kind of like he's untrustworthy right now in the playoffs. What do you call him? Playoff P?
Playoff P.
Playoff P.
Playoff P.
That's
Shout
what he
out to
calls
Dame
himself.
Sister though for sticking up for him.
Man,
immediately.
man.
She is a real one
They
for
just-
doing that.
They getting personal too, man.
That's
wrong
her.
with that?
She said, "I don't care."
Ah, man. And then we have Eric Gordon, who's always kind of streaky in the postseason,
EG.
and he can go out for you and be the guy that wins you the game,
He can.
and then sometimes he can contribute to why you guys lost the game.
Yeah, definitely.
So going over in a game 7, let's just call it like it is. But other games he has produced that, but in that game especially. So if it would have hit a couple, it definitely would have helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're gonna call that another story as well. But so I guess the question I would like to ask you guys is, what player do you expect to be like untrustworthy to their team in the playoffs? We'll start with Gittin on this one because I think we started with Aaron
Yeah, I
last
was
time.
last.
Yeah. So,
Who's your player first?
I picked Tim
Long
Hardaway
pause.
Jr. from the Dallas Mavericks, who are currently sitting at the 7 seed, correct?
I
Mhm.
believe so, yeah.
Right. And currently he's averaging 15.6 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 1.9 assists. And this is his best three-point percentage this year. But I had found a little interesting fact, and the reason why I find Tim Hardaway Jr. to be untrustworthy, because the last time he went to the playoffs was 3 years ago in 2017.
Okay.
And even then, I know we mentioned it. I know we brought it up a little bit off air that he was a streaky shooter, streaky scorer. And so I wanted to get into a little bit of the stats. This was first round 2017 playoffs against the Washington Wizards.
Oh, even against the Wizards.
Yeah,
too.
even
not
against the
even like
Wizards.
some of the
So
elite.
game 1, he had 7 points. Game 2, 19. Game 3, 8. Game 4, 5, 15. And game 6, 13.
No.
Not over 20.
So
Sounds like him.
I just feel like, I guess he's not a bad player. He's not an all-star player. He contributes, but I guess I see him as a question mark, kind of.
Yeah, see?
Because he
Sure.
also averages 20. Hold on, let me see. I believe 22 minutes in Dallas, and I feel like that's kind of important because he is a starter too. So I mean, if you're playing 22 minutes and you're only giving me 8 points, I don't, you know,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's only
Yeah.
playing
So
22.
22 minutes with 8 points.
So he's gonna be the one to shrink in the
I
playoffs
think
and
he's
cost
gonna
his
be
team.
yeah,
possibly
because we
playoff
know what
run.
Luka's gonna do. We know what KP's gonna do. We know what KP's gonna do as long as he stays healthy. But I mean, and then sometimes there's just no answer for Luka at all.
Yep.
But yeah, I really feel like Tim Hardaway Jr. is gonna either make it or break it for the for Mavs.
I like that pick because I have really high hopes for the Mavs.
Yeah,
I hope they get a lot of experience. I hope they go deep, but not like. I hope they get a first round win. That'd be good for them.
I get you.
But yeah, like when it comes down to that one, I like that pick just because it is on the Mavericks. I'll go second because I haven't gone second.
Yeah,
I'll
go
let you
ahead,
wrap
brother.
it up. So my pick, I was actually thinking about going KP, which was Kristaps Porzingis,
yeah.
and the reason why is because like he is very detrimental to that team,
Mm-hmm.
and like he can be streaky sometimes
Yeah,
with
definitely.
his shooting, and he can also be taken advantage of because, yeah, he is tall and lanky.
His lateral
and
movement
he's
is not
athletic.
that good.
Yeah, but he can be taken advantage of.
Yeah, like he can play. He
On-
can
on
be a
the-
rim protector and all that, but he's not really a rim protector. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So, and then he's always on the perimeter too, like
Yeah.
shooting. But I was kind of thinking of a guy who's means a little bit more to his team
Who is that?
and kind of has a similar role where he's like the number 2. I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis to be the guy that I am not gonna trust him the most when their team in the playoffs. I feel like he's gonna be the reason why like that team doesn't get to that next round because of his underwhelming stats or underwhelming performances. So let me just give you guys a couple of examples here.
Please do.
Against Utah, which was his last good game, he had 42 points versus Utah,
Right.
and he put up 28 shots. In the last 3 games, he put up 34 points total in the last 3 games, and then total shots that he put up, 32. So that's only 4 more shots.
Wow.
4 more shots, and he's gotten way more points. So he's not really getting to the line the same way, and the crazy thing about it is that like he also disappears in the fourth quarter too.
Definitely.
So or he's showing a history of doing that kind of stuff right now. So when you have those two, they don't really go together, especially when he's supposed to be the guy who holds it down when LeBron's not playing.
Exactly.
So another bad thing I feel like is that he's not necessarily a playmaker. So when he's making a post move inside the post, of course, they always double team him right when he starts to make that post move, and he doesn't necessarily know what to do with it, and he either gets fouled or he commits a turnover because he's throwing it to somebody
Looks like
else.
a deer with some headlights on him.
Yeah, no, he definitely like flops like a deer. Like it's real lanky. But and then the system already looks bad when LeBron's not being, in the LeBron system.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
LeBron-centric.
there's going to be a lot of focus on him because we already know what LeBron could do. LeBron has his brand, but there's the Anthony Davis brand that's not going the right way.
Exactly.
So this playoffs is going to show up a lot and emphasize it. And I believe that he's been showing a lot of, I can fold. I think he's going to be doing a lot of folding when it comes down to like important nitty gritty type shit.
Right.
It's his first playoffs in it's his
We've
first.
been saying that LeBron's trying to build him up, but
Yep.
it's
hasn't been working.
It's so close. It
It ain't
doesn't seem like
looking
it's
too
working.
Yeah.
But
And
then
it's
you got your pick here.
It's. Dang, I forget what I was about to say, man. But yeah, so. Dang, I had something on the Lakers. I totally forgot, man.
The
But yeah.
Lakers.
Moving on. Oh, it's his first season in a Laker uniform, so you know the LA media and all that.
Oh.
You know,
yeah, that
What do
powerhouse
they
media.
crush him after?
bro, exactly. Expectations are gonna be really
You know
high,
they are.
especially because they basically gave up their promising young core that they groomed over the past
They-
couple years.
They can't crush him because they want
They
him
need
back.
him to resign. Yeah,
He hasn't resigned yet.
exactly.
They are.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, "Fuck this guy."
It's gonna be me.
I already expect Marco Rappaport to be like, Anthony Davis was
Yep.
not what we all expected him to be, so just
Yep.
face it.
That guy, man. Hey, shout out him. No.
Shout
Yeah,
out Marco
but moving on
Rappaport,
to my
man.
pick, I love this guy to death, but he just kind of worries me. I'm gonna pick Duncan Robinson, a forward of the Miami Heat out of Miami.
Tough.
But he's been a revelation for them. He's been one of my favorite breakout players of the year. Honestly, I call him like the 6'7", 6'8" JJ Redick basically. That's all this
Yep.
dude does. He comes off screens and pin downs and elevator sets and literally just shoots. Like they get mad if he dribbles inside the 3-point line because they just want him shooting as many threes as possible. And he's crucial to their offense because other than other than Myers Leonard and Kelly Olynyk, they're like the only shooters, the only like actual shooters on that Miami team, and I would definitely say he's the best out of the three, and
Yeah.
he's the most versatile in positions you can play him, just because he's a 6'7" body, so you can have him out at the 3 or the 4. He's not the best defender, and that's what kind of worries me. I feel like teams are gonna go at him and attack him, and another thing that worries me is since he's so crucial in providing spacing to that offense, what if teams just decide to take him out of the game entirely?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like they just put their best defender on him and say,
They
you know
just
what,
black
you're
him
yeah,
out.
yeah, literally
His
like
points are very valuable.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And not
it-
even his points, just his positional, like where he's at, how he can stretch the defense. You know what I mean?
Can I mention something real
Go ahead.
quick? For the Heat, I was just looking up different things because I made a post about the Heat because they were playing the Raptors. I think
Uh-huh.
we were even talking about them. I don't know for sure, but anyway, while I was looking at it, they like are the most efficient with their scoring. So they don't really shoot that many shots, but like they make a lot of them.
Yep.
So overall, like it kind of makes up for it.
Mm.
So when Duncan Robinson is able to make a shot,
Right.
it's a three. You know, like
And
they're not really used to threes.
Numbers
Right.
going up.
So that's why he's so valuable
Right.
because that three is a huge difference for them. Whether
Right.
that's catching up because they could play good defense and cut a lead in half pretty quickly,
Mhm.
or it's maintaining a lead.
Yep.
But go on. That's why he's so vital though.
Pardon my yawn. And yeah,
Man,
another
really, a lot of
thing.
cars today.
For real, another glaring thing that I noticed of how and why he's so vital is that Spo goes out of his way to run sets for this guy. Like I said, he comes out of like elevator sets or horn sets or pin down screens or even just like fake backdoor cuts off of a handoff. Like he's a constant moving factor in the offense just because of how versatile and how needed that 3-point spacing is. I have a couple lineup numbers written down. So out of the 3 men, I put Jimmy Buckets, Bam, and Dunk. They've played basically 1,000 minutes together. It's the second most for a 3-man lineup, and then they have a positive 11 point net differential. And then for the starters, which was it was Jimmy Buckets, Kendrick Nunn, Bam, Dunk, and I left someone out. It's gonna bug me. I want to say it was Myers Leonard maybe, but no, I did not believe so. I think he comes off the bench. No, I think it was Myers Leonard, but it's the most 5-man lineup team. They have a positive 13, and then Duncan plus the bench with their newfound bench basically with Jay Crowder, Iggy, Goran Dragic, and Kelly Olynyk. There's only a small sample size, obviously because COVID, locked everything down. And
Kelly Olynyk's been balling.
honestly, and they just acquired Iggy and Jay Crowder at the deadline, and Goran Dragic just became healthy because of the extended time to COVID. But dude, they have like a positive. They're blowing teams out with that lineup. They have a positive 38 net rating with Duncan Robinson with the bench unit. That's super promising, and that's a lot of spacing for the bench. And
You can attest to their depth because of that too.
exactly, and then basically Iggy and Goran Dragic are the 2 facilitators, and that's a good lineup. Like defensively, you can go at Goran a little bit, but you have Jay Crowder and Iggy to cover it.
So what are the reasons that make you feel like he's gonna be the guy that you're not trusting though?
That's what I was just about to get into. So I feel like teams, especially now with this extended layoff, they had time to be in the field, but dudes were sitting at home doing nothing. So you know that these coaches were figuring out schemes and watching tons and tons of film. So I feel like if they run into like Nick Nurse, or if they run into Brad Stevens, or if they run into Budenholzer, these guys who are like really philosophers of the game, almost kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like really detailed coaches.
Mhm.
I think they're going to know a lot of these sets that they're running. And then I was just telling you guys, what if they just take him out of the game completely? Like, that's such a crucial factor to their offense because he's, like I said, he's probably their best shooter on the roster.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if you're taking away that, that's just they have to run their offense totally different because everything's going to be a lot more compact and buckets are going to be a lot harder to come by. Like, I trust Jimmy B as a 3-point shooter, but I think this year has been one of his worst 3-point shooting years in a minute.
Yeah, I don't really I haven't really seen Jimmy shoot a lot of threes like that.
He's
this year.
clutch
Yeah,
at
he's
threes. Like he'll hit them, but he don't really take them like that. Like I
Yeah.
think he's only taking 2 a game. I feel like we talked about this.
Yeah, he
in another
doesn't take
podcast.
too many threes.
Yeah.
He's and when he does take them, they're usually awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
Like then again. I think I've said this like 3 times already. He has to take set shots on 3-point line.
That, and I just feel like smarter coaches will take advantage of him on defense, because with the starters, I mean, Kendrick Nunn has held up defensively. Jimmy Buckets, I don't have to talk about his defense. Bam is already all defense, all defensive team capable center.
Yep.
I feel like they would attack Duncan Robinson in that lineup, and that's kind of worry. Like, what if they just go Duncan Robinson hunting and then play him off the floor? That's just as the same thing as taking him out the game.
Get him tired.
Exactly, and he was drafted last year, but he only played, I think, 15 games. A lot of it was in the G League, so he's technically a rookie, you know what I mean? And I don't know, how do we expect a rookie to fare in the playoffs? And it also has to be noted that these playoffs are very, very unprecedented playoffs that have never been like this before.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a bubble. It's pretty much neutral floors. I believe you said it the other day that there was a quote from someone saying that it's a shooter's gym, because the floor is flat, so they have better depth perception. Yeah, exactly. They have better depth perception instead of it being like a dome. You know what I mean? And so that's a positive for him. But maybe, like I'm saying, maybe other teams that they just know. They know what Miami's up to. They know how crucial he is, so they decide to not take the risk and take him out and pretty much eliminate their three-point strategy from the Miami Heat.
Well, I hope it don't happen, but no. When you notice that when you get into the playoffs, like people get double teamed, or people
there's a lot less
get
fouls.
planned for. You know what I mean? There's schemes. So if Duncan Robinson means that much to you, and you think that you could take the other guys, like, making 2s rather than 3s, losing by 2s and 3s, then it might happen.
Yeah.
You never know. So no, that's a really good point. And so, no, I think so. So Gifting got Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yes, sir.
I got Anthony Davis, and Aaron
Robinson.
got Duncan Robinson. So that's going to be the untrustworthy players that we'll keep an eye on in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's 3 more games left in regular season, basically.
They're all on some pretty good teams too.
Yeah, they're all on, like, contenders that really want to get up there.
That Mavs team they can match up with anybody.
Yep.
So they're gonna be a fit.
Would you guys like to move on to some shout-outs?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Nice.
That's the end of pretty much
it
all
off.
the topics we got for today. About an hour minute in. Let's go ahead and do some shout-outs. I'll start it off real quick because I've been waiting to say this one. We got Juan Soto back from COVID. I think he already hit a home run, or he got a hit. But today he did hit another home run, or it was yesterday. I don't know for sure, but that guy's back. Hopefully he makes a difference for his team, because that whole division is pretty good. And man, I hope he don't beat the Phillies, because the Phillies are looking really bad for me right now. But shout out to Juan Soto for him getting healthy. Prayers out for him and his family, whoever got it. Hopefully doesn't affect their family too bad. And Juan Soto's back, baby. That guy's a beast.
Any other shout outs from you?
I might have another one, but if you guys want to go, because
go ahead, Jason.
I can't really think of it. The only person that comes to mind is shout out Dennis Schroeder, bro. Bro recently just had another baby. Second
shout out
kid.
Dennis Schroeder. Congrats.
Shout out Schroeder.
Okay, shout out AJ Pollock. AJ Pollock's been the best batter on the Dodgers.
Yep.
Can you believe that shit?
Really?
That guy Corey Seager was doing really well, but he got injured. So let's just say that this guy AJ Pollock has been the best hitter on the Dodgers. Fucking insane to hear that. Also, he's in our DH spot.
Nice.
So we wouldn't get this production if it wasn't for the DH. So think about that when you're trying to make like the rule change. You know what I mean? Keep this DH shit, man. I want to see a batter come in and do something.
And it's only in the NL. Like, that's such unfair.
And there's been history of pitchers getting hurt, like at the plate or running, like on bases and shit. Like, come on. Let's keep the DHs.
Literally. I like that rule. I agree. And it adds more flair to the game because you have an extra hitter, especially on the NL side. It just adds an extra batter spot where there's a fielder playing instead of a pitcher, batting, because sometimes they just be looking silly up there.
Quick hits, real quick. Damian Lillard, how do you guys feel about him missing those free throws?
It happens, man. It
Yeah.
sucks, but it happens.
Yeah.
He replied by dropping, I think, 51 tonight, and he got his team into the playoffs, just like I said he would. Shout out Dame.
You got to start your franchise. You got Damian Lillard. You got Paul George. Pick one.
Damian Lillard.
Paul George.
I think
Paul George.
And it's not
To
even.
start-
and
to
it's
start my
not
team,
even.
I got Paul
And it's
George.
not even like, oh no, fuck Paul George
Yeah,
shit. Like I
exactly.
just know I'd have way more success with Dame.
Dude,
than
yeah,
Paul.
Exactly.
Damian is pretty nice. Okay,
Yeah.
I switched my pick. I go Damian.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
No, facts.
You
Like, I
good.
get you.
3-point difference.
Yeah.
He's
The
bro,
way that he can set up the whole rest of the floor because how much
When-
space
how
he
much-
needs.
When he had brought it up, when he was getting double teamed in the playoffs,
And he
and he
learned
just
how to
learned to
shoot
shoot
further.
from like 35,
and look
36.
at him now. Look at him now, dude.
Look at him now.
Come on.
He's crazy now.
Yeah,
He's like
it's
legit, like
insane.
maybe third best point guard in the league, maybe.
Right now.
Ooh.
So
Let's think about that real quick because this is our
I
quick hits.
I already
Let's
have
think real
like
quick.
if are we counting LeBron full on point guard?
No.
Okay, then Steph is still the best point guard in the
Bodies,
league.
You know what I'm saying?
Regardless,
it's the same
yeah.
body.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
Uh,
Steph is the best point guard in the league.
Yep.
Kyrie,
Number
No,
two.
Kyrie.
Nah.
Kyrie's
Chris
not
Paul?
better than Damian Lillard.
Russell Westbrook.
No, he's not better than Damian Lillard.
Oh!
Is James Harden? Is James Harden?
I think
You
he
should go.
went
We're
back
not
to
doing
two
that.
guard.
We're
And
not
Russell
doing that,
Westbrook
bro.
is
Don't do
Russell
that.
Westbrook's the point guard now. I would say.
So Russell Westbrook I know is a point guard.
Yeah.
But here's the thing for me with the difference between the two.
Well,
I would rather have a long range shooter like
As a
Damian
point,
Lillard
yeah.
than a guy who's just athletically like
yeah.
amazing.
Like Paul George,
and he's
Paul
a
George
playmaker.
is
He's
phenomenal.
awesome.
Yeah, but
No, I'm talking about
Russ.
Russell Westbrook
Oh my bad.
and
Russell Westbrook over Dame?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still take Dame.
Dame.
I-
all
oh,
day.
I-
yeah.
No, you made a noise,
I'm
I
Rockets
thought.
fan, but I'm taking Dame.
okay.
Chris Paul. I don't think he's better than Dame.
And so you think he's top 2, top 3?
Definitely.
He's
Yeah, I was just
Who-
trying to see who
not
was
John
at two.
Wall.
I was trying to see who was just at 2 though. So Steph,
Kemba Walker.
somebody, and then Dame. Who's at 2? That we can all agree
I
on.
think I said Dame. I said he's the
Well,
second best
Russell
point guard.
Westbrook's also MVP, but if I want to take somebody, I'd take
Taking Dame.
Dame.
I said Dame's the second best point guard behind Steph.
probably. Honestly,
we're not
I
counting LeBron.
think he is probably
Okay.
the second best point guard. Yeah.
Honestly, Steph,
Yeah,
Dame,
it's a little
Russ.
bit better.
That's my list. Steph, Dame, Russ.
Russ is the third. Second half season Russ is a different animal. He just he put himself back up
I
there.
take Russ
Yeah.
for a lot of different people.
I like Russ.
I feel like I can build a team around
And
Russ.
it's-
you
And
know?
then
it's
probably
all-
CP after,
Yeah.
maybe.
It is only because like Russ is still at that near triple average in the triple double. You know,
He never evolved or nothing like that, so he just
Yeah.
needs a team catered to him. That's
Yep.
what it really
Mhm.
is. He needs to be in the right situation.
Mhm.
All right, so let's quick hits. Anybody got anybody?
I just wanted to
else
say
got
shout out Tommy Tuchel, the Paris Saint-Germain coach. He was in a training session this past week, and he sprained his ankle and broke a metatarsal in his left
Oh,
foot.
yeah, you told me about.
So he's out here coaching in a boot on the sidelines. And
Shout out to him. We last podcast just to
Uh-huh.
because this is a needed interruption. We were talking about the coach. Remember, I sent that article. I hope you read it.
Uh-huh.
They're just treating people badly, and we're just talking about it a little bit. So I
Yeah,
ended up
ESPN,
good.
yeah.
I ended it with like a good note,
Uh-huh.
like what coaches like made influence on me and Gifton.
Uh-huh.
And so for you to mention that, that's really cool.
Yeah, shout out to that coach.
This guy's even making an influence on his people.
He was kind of hated in PSG for a minute. I didn't really like him. Like, I'm still kind of iffy about him, but now that it's been like 18 months and he finally has like a couple of his players that he handpicked and chosen to join the squad, he gets to implement his philosophy a little bit. So I mean, hopefully he can take us to the promised land. But Champions League football back on I think Wednesday. They face Atalanta. It's about to be a crazy game. That's about it for me.
For sure. Gifton?
We all good in the hood over here, bro.
All right, for sure. That is I think it's the 6th episode of Sports U.
Yep.
Finished.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
all,
it's,
folks.
August 9th to
August
Sunday.
9th.
Yep. Sunday, August 9th.
We're gonna continue to try to get more content out to you guys. It's going very well. Being a lot more confident.
Yeah.
It's real clean. But with that being in mind, hopefully we could do it about twice a week, soon enough, and then we're trying to get to you guys some Film Fridays. But
Yep.
we'll get you guys
Got a nice
as
one
much
in tour.
content as we can. So be safe out there, especially during these crazy times. And appreciate you guys listening.
Support the youth.
All right. Phone out.
Support Sports U Uncensored.
Uncensored. For you.
Good night, everybody.